Hello, ladies. So what do you got there, sweetie?
This is a lemongrass.
So we just dug up a clump of lemongrass. We started with just one stalk. As you can see, there's a couple dozen stalks. Not getting heavy, honey. Go ahead and put that down. And what we're going to do now is we're going to divide this plant. You could divide it into, each and every one of these will grow a new plant. But we're going to break it into 3 nice chunks. And so we'll get some nice, vigorous, larger plants this year. I'll just use the hori. There's one nice bunch.
Very strong, huh? Stick together like a family. It's nice to dig. Very soft. Plant together.
That's good. Can't really go wrong with lemongrass. It's so easy.
Just only like this and it will grow. It's easy. You put it in the pot, it will grow.
So we're just looking for some more places to grow the lemongrass. We decided right here in front of the sugar cane would be nice. Look at all that mycelium. Very clay-like soil. And get a variety, even a little wood chip break down in there. That's 2. Here's another good spot. And lots of worms. So lemongrass is absolutely one of the easiest plants in the world to grow. You can pretty much go to any Asian market and you can buy some stalks of lemongrass very cheap. You can just plant that straight away in the garden. Although you can see here where Alice had harvested some stalks from the garden, utilized them to make tea, and then just took the butt piece and put it in a little bit of water. And look at this growth here. This is after just like 2.5 weeks. You got a plant that's already about 1 foot tall. So again, easy to proliferate, so many uses. If you happen to see one of these growths growing in your garden, perhaps on a limb of a tree or a fruit bush like this aronia berry here, consider yourself blessed. This is a praying mantis egg sac. They can hold 300 eggs, and about 1/5 of those will survive and turn into nymphs come spring. So you should have about 50 or so more praying mantis come from that egg sac. And they are beneficial in the garden. They'll eat fruit flies, aphids, moths, and they're quite the sight to see. They're a beautiful insect. So I've just been building up this 3rd hugelkultur mound, digging some soil up from around the base and the pathways, and building up the mound. And of course the chickens are curious. They've been drinking out of my bowl here where I'm taking some merit collard cuttings. So in between planting time and taking those cuttings, I like to put them in a bowl of water. You can see now this mound, which was full of the merit, now just has a few plants left on it. And here are all those plants, which I'll be taking some more cuttings from. Got another batch of compost tea brewing. And we have another overcast day. Chickens are being very active in the garden today. Doing some bug hunting. By the way, the water in that bowl for the cuttings I gathered from the pond. So it's got a bit of nutrient in there as well. Of course, the chickens are curious. Every time I disturb the soil and work in an area, they like to come around, look for bugs. But things are really coming along. Happy with the way everything's looking at this point. All the fruit trees are pruned. Most of the pathways have been cleared. Done a lot of chop and drop. Some of the soil that I was digging out around the mound, I removed some garlic that was clumped together, growing up from last year. A few of the cloves that didn't grow up to full mature size. I'm going to be separating those and transplanting them out. And I also dug up a whole bunch of Jerusalem artichoke tubers. Nice, healthy Jerusalem artichoke tubers. Perfect for eating. But I'll be replanting these, transferring the patch. I had a little patch growing here at the edge of the hugel culture. It was starting to grow into the mound. I didn't want it to take over, so I'm going to move that somewhere else. I'm going to keep on keeping on out here. Got some more artichoke to transplant. Going to be moving a few more plants in between my fruit trees, just to work as a nice little shade layer or shrub layer, just to help to shade out the ground in between the trees, help to conserve water. So you can see I got a little patch of artichoke here. It's probably about 7 plants. So I'll transfer 6 of them, leave 1. Look at the beautiful blossoms on the almond tree here. This is the all-in-one almond, self-pollinator. And then just below that, we've got the big red hibiscus plant starting to re-emerge. Got a few more hibiscus on order I'll be adding to the garden this year. We got some rain starting to come in again tomorrow for the next few days, so I don't know how much work I'll be able to get done at that point. See over here, I added some straw to the asparagus patch that I just planted out the other day. Just helped to give it a little bit of protection so it doesn't dry out too much. We had some sunny days. Autumn olive, nitrogen fixing shrub, produces an edible berry. It's really taken off this year. So we got some nice flowering starting to happen. Citrus looking healthy. This is the chicken run. This fence is where all the hops grow up. And you can see all the greens growing in here. Enormous greens, goji berries on the fence line there. Right there's where I took out the banana tree, and then we got the Pakistan mulberry planted. But I got some cleanup to do in the chicken run as well. I really like the idea of creating a little mini food forest in the chicken run. It just makes sense. I mean, it gives the chickens plenty of food and shelter, places to hide, and it looks nice. You're not just having, a big barren area. Then of course, the chickens are fertilizing the whole garden for you. Still waiting on the wisteria to pop, but it's all been pruned. See, we got some budding. Should get a decent amount of flowers this year. I didn't prune as hard as previous years, but we've got a beautiful structure now on this garden arbor. As I featured before, you can just see how rigid now everything is, just consumed by the wisteria. And this Washington navel orange is really starting to take off this year. I think it's going to be a really good year. I looked at the forecast. Our last frost date is March 15th. And it looks like up until close to around that time, the lowest we're going to get is the low 40s. So we should be safe from any late freezes coming in and causing any destruction. Over here we got a Valencia orange. And the great thing about having two different orange trees of different varieties is if you do it right, you're going to extend your harvest because you're going to get two different periods of time where you got ripening of fruit. This tree here, fruit's still a bit hard, not quite ready to eat. But the Washington and the Valencia are a good combo if you're going to grow two orange trees in your yard because they do set fruit at different times. Hello, ladies. See over here we got the sea buckthorn. This is a nice healthy specimen here. I had initially planted 3 or 4 of these and didn't give them hardly any attention. I thought that they were going to be more resilient than they were. Ended up with just one survivor, but it's a strong one. So I'm going to have to get another variety because it does need cross-pollination. And you can see it does send out runners. This is a runner from that main plant growing up. I'll just dig that up, pot it up, hopefully find somebody who wants it. But there's a few runners actually coming up. There's another one right here and right here. But to me, that's just abundance. That's not anything that's hard to control. Plants that have that type of behavior, in my opinion, when you have them in a setting like a backyard food forest, which you're managing, it just contributes to the abundance because you can easily create plants. If you're looking for a system that requires no maintenance whatsoever, then you're going to want to be cautious about some of those varieties. Same thing here with the jujube tree. It always puts off some runners. Here's a little baby tree growing at the base. But those are easy enough to remove. Same thing. I'll just kind of dig up that. You can cut it back, but I'll probably just dig it up, try to get some roots on it, put it in a pot, offer it up to someone else. Well guys, that's the update for today. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're having a great one. Until next time, this is Dan from plantabundance.com. Take care. I'll be talking to you again soon.